Is Doomsday truly bigger than Endgame, or are we confusing noise with destiny, spectacle with meaning? When theaters erupted during Avengers Endgame, something historic ended. Yet Marvel now whispers Doomsday, a word heavier than Thanos. Tonight we question hype, grief, multiverse fear, and humanity's obsession with endings, fictional and real. Avengers Endgame was not merely a movie, it was a cultural ritual. Built across a decade, every callback mattered, from Tony Stark's sacrifice to Steve Rogers lifting Mjolnir. That final battlefield, crowded with portals and heroes, felt earned because audiences aged alongside these characters, sharing loss, patience, and unprecedented cinematic continuity. Doomsday, however, emerges from disruption rather than completion. After the Kang storyline fractured, Marvel pivoted hard, introducing Doctor Doom as a stabilizing threat. This shift feels less like destiny and more like emergency surgery, exciting yet unstable. Doomsday promises chaos, but chaos alone has never guaranteed emotional gravity or narrative trust. Endgame thrived on memory. The "I am Iron Man" moment echoed the first MCU film, closing a loop begun years earlier. Doomsday lacks that luxury. Its challenge is creating urgency without history, convincing viewers that multiversal collapse equals emotional collapse, not just louder explosions and faster cosmic terminology. The theory driving Doomsday centers on incursions, universes colliding because reality itself is damaged. Endgame's time heist, with Ancient One warnings and branching timelines, may have planted these fractures. Doctor Strange's dreamwalking in Multiverse of Madness further destabilized barriers, suggesting heroes unintentionally authored their own apocalypse. Secret Wars comics loom heavily over these ideas. In those pages, realities died silently, planets crashing together like discarded toys. Translating that dread on screen requires restraint, not excess. Endgame showed restraint by focusing on faces during loss. Doomsday must remember that collapsing universes still require human anchors. Then comes Doctor Doom, possibly played by Robert Downey Jr., a casting decision shaking fandom. Is this inspired symmetry or calculated nostalgia? A Stark-like Doom could embody hauntology, the MCU haunted by Tony's absence, resurrecting his face as a villain, forcing audiences to confront unresolved grief through distorted familiarity. Academics describe this as hauntology, where stories are stalked by futures that never arrived and pasts that refuse burial. Spider-Man Far From Home literally framed Peter beneath Stark's shadow. Doomsday could transform that shadow into Doom himself, making Endgame's sacrifice echo not as closure, but as unresolved cosmic consequence. Representation deepens this tension. Characters like Wanda, grappling with loss and monstrous identity, or Sam Wilson negotiating patriotism, embody fragmented selves. The multiverse reflects this fragmentation, countless versions of selfhood colliding. Doomsday risks becoming bigger than Endgame by scale, yet smaller by emotional specificity. The multiverse also mirrors our real world. Scholars argue it represents post-truth reality, where contradictory beliefs coexist violently. When universes collide in Doomsday, it echoes societies clashing over incompatible narratives. Endgame unified audiences around shared history. Doomsday reflects a fractured audience living in parallel interpretations. This is where fiction brushes reality. Outside Marvel, scientists discuss real Doomsday without capes. Existential risk defines threats capable of ending humanity permanently. Unlike Thanos, these dangers lack villains. Nuclear arsenals, climate collapse, engineered pandemics, and misaligned artificial intelligence threaten endings without heroic final stands. The Doomsday argument, a statistical model, suggests humanity may already be closer to its end than beginning. Annual global catastrophe risk is estimated disturbingly high. Unlike Endgame's clear enemy, reality offers diffuse responsibility. No single snap, no purple tyrant, only accumulated decisions accelerating quietly toward irreversible thresholds. Nuclear weapons remain the most immediate shadow. Despite Cold War nostalgia, modernization continues. Hypersonic missiles reduce reaction time. Nuclear winter research suggests even limited exchanges could starve billions. In Marvel terms, this is an incursion with no Avengers portal moment, only silent atmospheric collapse and prolonged suffering. Artificial intelligence introduces subtler terror. The alignment problem warns of systems optimizing goals misaligned with human values. Unlike Ultron's theatrical evil, real AI risk lies in competence without empathy. Integrated into military command, AI could trigger flash wars faster than human restraint, breaking mutually assured destruction itself. Biotechnology compounds danger. Techniques once confined to labs are increasingly accessible. Gain-of-function research, accidental releases, and dual-use tools blur medicine and weaponry. These threats resemble Marvel's accidental villains, created by good intentions without foresight, except reality offers no post-credits resurrection. Climate change operates as a threat multiplier. Rising temperatures destabilize food systems, fuel migration, and ignite conflict. Unlike cinematic destruction, climate collapse is slow, uneven, and unjust. The poorest suffer first, while elites contribute most, reframing apocalypse as systemic negligence rather than sudden cosmic judgment. Governance becomes the missing hero. Scientists argue top-down regulation alone fails. Instead, cultural responsibility within scientific communities matters, echoing Aesolomer principles. Marvel heroes learn responsibility painfully. Reality demands it proactively. Endgame celebrated sacrifice. Doomsday demands prevention, an uncinematic but vital narrative shift. Apocalyptic fiction historically also remember. Ancient texts, nuclear novels, pandemic stories all externalize fear. Marvel modernizes this tradition. Endgame fits classical apocalypse, a final battle restoring order. Doomsday aligns with post-apocalyptic anxiety, where survival itself becomes uncertain, and restoration may be impossible. Comparing fictional power, fans debate Thanos versus DCU Doomsday. Speed, regeneration, skill, weapons dominate arguments. Yet these debates miss the point. Power scaling distracts from thematic weight. Endgame resonated because victory cost everything. Doomsday risks empty escalation if destruction lacks personal consequence. So which is bigger? Endgame was bigger emotionally, socially, historically. Doomsday aims to be bigger existentially. One closed a book, the other burns libraries. Scale does not equal impact. Audiences may remember Endgame's tears longer than Doomsday's collapsing skies, unless Marvel re-centers humanity. If Doomsday succeeds, it will mirror reality's warning. There are no reset buttons. No time heists undo consequences. Heroes must choose restraint over dominance, cooperation over spectacle. That lesson, if earned, could surpass Endgame, not in applause, but in relevance. Marvel stands at a crossroads. Chase nostalgia, or confront fear honestly. Use Doom as spectacle, or as mirror. Endgame unified us briefly. Doomsday could challenge us uncomfortably. Bigger is not louder, it is deeper. Apocalypse is not destruction, but revelation. In the end, Doomsday versus Endgame reflects us. Do we crave closure, or can we face uncertainty? Cinema cannot save humanity, but it can frame responsibility. If this theory intrigued you, like, share, and subscribe to FilmVerse Hollywood, because the future of stories begins with questions we dare to ask.